Something quietly happened in Washington on May 22nd. The US Citizenship and Immigration Services, known as USCIS, issued a directive that fundamentally changes how immigrants can apply for a green card. In simpler terms, most immigrants who want a green card will now have to leave the United States and apply from their home country through a US consulate abroad. No fanfare, no press conference, just a policy memo. And it landed like a grenade in the lives of hundreds of thousands of Indians in America. For years, Indians in America followed a familiar path. Study in the US, get an H-1B visa, find a stable job, apply for a green card while living and working inside America. Thousands built their entire lives around the assumption that they could transition from temporary visa status to permanent residency without leaving the country. That assumption just got shaken. The American dream all but shattered. The controversy erupted after the US Department of Homeland Security proposed sweeping changes to adjustment of status procedures. Under the original interpretation of the rule, many temporary visa holders applying for permanent residency would no longer be allowed to complete the process while staying inside the US. Instead, they would need to return to their home countries and apply through consular processing. Then came the partial reversal. After massive backlash from immigration lawyers, businesses and immigrant groups, the Trump administration reportedly clarified that not all employment-based green card applicants would be forced to leave the country. According to updated guidance and reports, several categories of applicants may still be allowed to adjust status from within the United States. But here's the key point. The damage was already done, because the episode exposed something much deeper: the growing instability surrounding America's immigration system under Trump's era policies. For Indian professionals, the message felt unmistakable. Even long-established immigration pathways can suddenly change overnight, and that uncertainty is now becoming part of daily life for immigrants in America. Now, who pays the price for this? The answer is not a mystery. Indians do. Disproportionately, devastatingly, and immediately. Because Indian professionals already face some of the world's longest green card waiting times. Employment-based applicants from India often spend years, sometimes decades, stuck in immigration queues. Now imagine this situation. A worker has spent 10 years in America, bought a home, started a family, put children in school, paid taxes, built a career, and suddenly they may have to leave the country to complete paperwork. That is not a bureaucratic inconvenience, that is a life disruption on a massive scale. And here's why this feels especially brutal right now, because this new green card rule is arriving at the worst possible moment. America's tech industry is already going through layoffs, restructuring, and AI-driven workforce cuts. Thousands of Indian tech workers have spent months living under one terrifying countdown clock: 60 days. Lose your job on an H-1B visa and the clock starts ticking. Find another employer willing to sponsor your visa within 60 days or leave America. Now add this new green card rule on top of that pressure. Suddenly, the immigration ladder looks shakier than ever. Layoffs are rising, sponsorship scrutiny is tightening, and now permanent residency itself may require leaving the country. For many Indians in America, this feels like a double whammy. First, uncertainty over jobs, now uncertainty over settlement itself. And there's another deeper fear. What if someone leaves America for consular processing and faces delays, visa rejection, or administrative hurdles abroad? That risk now becomes real. This is not happening in isolation. The move fits into a much broader immigration tightening campaign under Donald Trump's second administration. Student visas have faced tougher scrutiny. Visa durations for some categories have shortened. Tens of thousands of visas have reportedly been revoked since Trump returned to office. The message increasingly sounds blunt. Temporary means temporary. The administration argues too many people use temporary visas as stepping stones toward permanent residency. Critics argue America is targeting the very skilled workers who help power its economy, and Indians sit right at the center of this debate. Because Indian professionals are not a marginal workforce in America. They are deeply embedded inside Silicon Valley, Wall Street, healthcare systems, universities, and AI economy itself. America needed Indian talent for decades, but now the politics around immigration has changed. Economic anxiety, nationalist rhetoric, job insecurity, anti-immigrant sentiment. All of it is reshaping immigration policy. And this story is no longer just about policy memos, it is becoming deeply personal. Inside Indian households across America, conversations are changing. Parents are asking difficult questions. Should we keep waiting for a green card? Should we move to Canada instead? Should we return to India before things get worse? Can we still trust long-term stability in America? That uncertainty is the real story here because immigration systems run on predictability. People build their lives around rules, careers around timelines, families around legal expectations. When those expectations suddenly shift, fear spreads very quickly, and for Indians already trapped in decades-long green card backlogs, this new policy feels like the ground moving beneath their feet. So, the bigger question is no longer whether Indians need America. The question increasingly is how much does America still need Indian talent? Because one thing is becoming very clear, the American dream today comes with more conditions, more uncertainty, and far less guarantee than it once did.
If they had a nuclear weapon,
The old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
no tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens, Beijing's lens, London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics, strategy, and power seen through India's eyes. From Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India. How one move by China can affect India's security. What turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability. How Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood. Why oil choke points can hit your wallet. How wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling. Daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations. Because news is everywhere, but perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly, to understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.